Hi there, welcome to the Overtime Chat. I don't know what in the world I was just doing. I fell in the days for a second. Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Overtime Chat. I'm here with you today on November the 11th. I'm sorry, on November the 21st, 2025. To recap for you, that finally part three of the Real Housewives of um, Orange County, season 19, part three. And begins this episode off with how the ladies, about how the ladies were hanging out with each other this season, how they were getting high off of space cakes and weed, smoking it, eating it, or whatever. And I thought that so they clipped together a whole scene of them doing different stuff, eating mushrooms and going to the tulips in Amsterdam. Going I think they had space cakes and they went to this like haunted house or some kind of like fun house or something. So I kind of smiled kind of all through that because I thought it was nice that they had a good time watching them have fun together. I think that's the part that keep me watching the Housewives franchises because it is cool if you got a bunch of girlfriends and you all get along and you are y'all vibing, having a good time. So from there, he started talking to Shannon, and because he's really curious about Shannon and Heather, because they getting high now, and Heather's was made good sense to me. Her kids are gone pretty much. She got one, I think, in high school, or he gone too now. But her kids are grown, it's experienced. She ain't responsible for cooking no dinners or having PTA meetings to help her with the homework. So she just experimenting. She living her best life, which I can tell that about her. But the thing to me, I can tell about Heather as well that she ain't living her best life fucking around with these women because of this type of shit. The stuff that go on with them. So she talked to Shannon, and Shannon said it's the first time she ever had a space cake. She said Tamara had told her that if she ate one, that it would stick to her. And she said it really stuck to her. Now I don't know if that meant something with her IBS or she stayed high all day, but it was one of the two. And it shows she sings to her, the ladies co-signing on they like it when Shannon is high. I do too. She funny to watch. So then Andy said that he's been excited to watch the evolution of the ladies because it has been 19 seasons, so pretty much 19 years that he's seen them. Like in this episode, we hear Heather say that um, when she started the show, her baby was 9 months old. Now he's 15 years old. So and he watched them change, from being mothers to being married to divorce. So I could understand that. So they start talking about the voodoo doll and where they go to Louisiana or wherever. And Shannon said so they was like they wasn't real cool with that. And the ones that did participate, they was like they don't really mess with theirs, but the person that really does is Jen. So Heather said that stuff started happening to her, so she was like, hell nah. So she said she tore her doll up into pieces. She said she didn't want to put it in the trash can together because if you put it in there together, you know, it ain't gonna do nothing. So she said she tore hers apart because she ain't seen so many movies where them things come back together, the pieces come back together, back to the one item again. So she was like, hell no, she wasn't doing that. And I think it was Shannon who said, one of them said once I found I had to feed it and love on and talk to it and shit. I was like, I don't want this dog. I was like, I'm with you. I don't want that motherfucker either. It's something else I gotta do. I already had to make your ass. Now I gotta take care of you too. But you see Jen with hers, Jen feed hers. She like give it a little tea. It's got like a cup or something at the top of the head where you're supposed to feed it. So she give it a little bit of coffee, get a little bit of tea, put it in the bed with a little twig arm and pray that the arm don't break off. And I mean, it's her thing. So then he asked Katie a question about geography because I don't think she knew whatever river she was on. I think it was on the Mississippi River, but she didn't know. And he asked her what rivers, which oceans border the east and the west coast. So I don't think she liked the answer, but she answered anyway. So we got to talking again about Heather and her dad, and he was telling her how he appreciated her, which I did too, because Heather, she a Capricorn like me. She a Capricorn like me in some ways. Don't start thinking I'm like Heather because I'm not. I mean, we got some similarities because we born on the same zodiac sign, but he was saying how she opened up about her father because she been on the show a long time for us to not know a lot of shit about her. So she explained her relationship with her father. So she went to Amsterdam to get to put his ashes to rest because she had him at home. So she was telling us before she released the ashes that had a real good talk with Emily. She said she appreciated Emily being there, and I appreciate Emily being there for you too, because you be needing somebody sometimes just to talk to you, and it changes the dynamic of your relationship. I think, or you make you see a person in another light. So I could see the change in their relationships because as long as they've been friends, they didn't know that they had similarities when it came to, their upbringing a little bit. So, Heather said, her experience with dealing with her father, was crazy. It has been real shattering and life changing for her at the same time. Because, she telling us that, her father wasn't loving. It's hard to say that shit about your parents, that your parent wasn't loving. Especially if it was, I think it's even especially hard if you say that shit and you alive. Like, I think Emily's parents is alive. Or her mother is at least. So, she was like, she was glad Emily was there. She told her father about what everything was going on. And she let us know too later on in the episode that her mother has moved to LA. And ooh, she said season 20. So we about to see. And I think Heather Mothers is like her as far as the personality. I don't think she like her with kids. I think she like her with other things. Like she has her mother's mannerisms. So we start focusing on the thing with Gretchen. That we get to this part now, and it's the part where that last dinner. They start talking about the last dinner, and he asked Gretchen how Gretchen felt about it. And she said it hurt because it was sprung on her. She got 4,500 people that she followed. She don't know what the fuck she liked or didn't like or when it happened, and she didn't know. And she wasn't going to, but that's not who she is or how she think or what she feel about gay people or anybody. She love everybody. She got her beliefs and you got yours, but they don't got no. She don't have no a hateful bone in her body toward nobody. So that's when Heather break in and say yes. I you gotta understand. If you was in shock, I was in shock too. She said, "I've known you for 14 years, and all I've ever known you to be, Gretchen, is kind to me and my family." And Gretchen said, she was shaking her head like this. She's like, "Yeah, thank you." So she said, "So yeah, for you to hear this," she said, "but at the same time, I have to tell you, there are people that I loved and cared for all my life, and then it wasn't until later that I found out that their beliefs were not like mine or theirs were against mine, and it was very shattering for me because a lot of this that we're talking about has to do with my children, the acceptance of my kids. So I said I could see her part too. So anyway, while they sitting there, Tamara sitting over that motherfucker, she just gaslighting. So I mean she gaslighting. She just looked like I'm focusing on Tamara because that's who the fuck I'm looking at. And she looking like, yeah, bitch, it's you get ready. Get it now. I mean, she just got that look on her face. So the whole time in the background, she back there like a fucking hype man. Well, what about it was 2 years ago? What about what about this? Well, how about that? Oh, have you been on that since then? Or have you liked the online? What about that? Well, how about this post? Well, why would you like that? And why would you follow? I mean, she was digging out, digging, digging, digging. Then Gretchen just came out and said, listen, I don't know what the fuck that is, but all I know that, and this is amongst all the ladies because they even went and talked in private. I mean, not in private, but they talked in a little group, minus Tamara's ass, and I think maybe Katie and somebody else. That they ain't gonna tell Katie, cause Katie around here kissing. Katie's a disappointment. I don't know about y'all, but she disappointment as fuck to me. I had hope for her, but she did some bullshit at this reunion. I was like, I wouldn't even fuck with you. Yeah. But I ain't gonna let you fuck with my money. I'm gonna film with you and shit, but I ain't really, I'm gonna feed you like the shit on the top. I'm gonna give you the skim. Little bit shit. I went to the grocery store. Like, we will never had no relationship where I'm sitting around this motherfucker pleading out my heart or telling you what's up under my shoe. Mm-mm. Never, bitch. So anyway, Tamara back there milking that shit. So Gretchen just pulled out this paperwork. She said, I had to hire somebody that cost me thousands of dollars, a cybersecurity person. And they still got the camera on Tamara. And she said, Yep, this and that, and it all leads back to you, Tamara. Me? How can it lead back to me? You're a fucking lying bitch. She went to calling her a bitch to a fucking homophobic bitch because she was a cunt. Now, if you new here or you just found me, I'm gonna just tell you right now. When they start doing that back and forth arguing shit, calling names, I don't really invest. I try to remember the hot shit, the shit was like, damn, like that. But just the regular back and forth, no you, no you. Like it was an episode where it was a scene in here with Tamara and Emily did. And I was like, and the only reason why I'm gonna tell you about it so I can explain to you what I mean. I ain't text stop and taking notes. And remember what this one said and this and some of that shit ain't worth remembering. I was like, duh, what you say that for? You know be dumb shit. So she called, I mean, Tamara just letting it rip. And then I knew it was coming. And Slade. And so anyway, after that shit, Andy showed them. Well, okay, Tamara already gassed up mad because he showed a clip of all the ladies talking about this fucking Instagram, this text message or whatever that Gretchen supposedly liked. And Tamara in there too, and they starting to talk like, well, how come this and that? Well, why wouldn't I get it? I couldn't get it. Well, how come you get it? Where you get it from? Shit like that. So Tamara was doing that shit. So it's my fault that she liked that post. Whatever. She always do that shit. So it's my fault. Yeah, bitch, it's your fault. I should say, yeah, it's your fault that she liked the post. Because we wouldn't know nothing about that shit if you didn't bring it over here. So yeah, it's your fault that she liked it now. So anyway, that's not for real. But that's what I would have told her anyway. But he asked Gretchen how she feeling. She said because she started crying or whatever that shit the white girls do. They just, I guess I'm gonna call it the Candace. You never see they squaring up the napkins and shit to get the tears. Whatever. I just wiped that shit. I've been stabbing myself in the eye and fucked up my contact or something. I'm telling you. So anyway, Gretchen said, this shit all on you, Tamara. It lead right back to you. It's a thing that you, a IP address. I don't know none of that shit. But it came from over there where you live. So she was like, how did it happen, this and that? So it was all going together. Then he Jen, the other ladies chime in too. And Jen said, the call was coming from inside the fucking house, yo. You did that shit. It lead all the way back to you. You were sitting on this shit. Yeah, why would I sit on it? Because we know you don't sit on shit, bitch. If you been had this for 2 years, you wouldn't have held this shit for 2 months. Because as soon as she would have pissed you off, that's what you would have came out with. Why didn't I come out with it the first time I seen it? Because you was waiting for the opportunity to use it against me. Then Shannon started talking about how she looked at dinner. She was sitting over there looking like she was looking so satisfied about what was gonna happen down at the reunion that she like she had orgasm. I was like, God damn, she thinking she was. And then Tamara, oh, it's late, you fucking cunt. It's late, you're a lie. And I hate when people do this. Don't swear shit on your kids, especially if you know you're in some bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Because if something happened to them motherfuckers, it's on you for real, for real. I mean, I'm for real with that shit. Don't know you doing some bullshit and put your kids up as your fucking ransom. Just I need y'all to hold this till I make sure it's right over here. Then once y'all see I ain't do nothing, ain't nothing happened to him. I ain't do nothing over there. No, that's just like to me. That's just like when Jesus went to the one that told him to take the son up there to do some shit, and he put him on a stack of wood and about to kill his ass, and God told him, gave him a sheep to sacrifice instead. Huh? Nah, dude, nah. I ain't saying I be on Jesus. I mean, I don't know. My Jesus wouldn't ask me to do no shit like that. I'm just telling you because he loved me. He know how much I love my kids. I'm just saying. I ain't saying that shit ain't true, but I'm saying for me, I don't know who told the story. So I ain't like that. I swear it on my children's life. If you want to pick one, better be Sydney, because I know it's fucked up. I'm sorry, I take that back. I take that back. That girl be working you. Well, I don't know. All your kids are some bullshit, except for the youngest one, the boy. Well, he might be too. Cause you had one of them, he's around there winning swab stickers, and the one that got married that don't fuck. Don't let your kids fuck with you, Tamara. You gotta do some inner work, child. So anyway, then she started screaming about, yeah, you went on your post and you was unlikely, but you didn't unlike the the post with Dylan on the can of Budweiser. Just like Heather ain't really saying shit. She's just like, really? And I'm with you on that, Heather. That's what I'm saying, man. Her just like, I be like, man, I could be fucking shopping. I could be, I don't know, on my way to Paris. Fuck it, I could be in Terry Chair getting, some touch ups or some shit. I don't want to hear this. So they keep going back and forth. And Tamara said, well, so anyway, Andy tells them, here's the clinching. Because she's saying she ain't doing it. So they get Andy the notes and shit. And he looking at it, he's like, well, the cyber people saying it's you. You might want to look at this. And it's not me. She started on that fake ass crying. It wasn't nothing that's good before you came back. I've been here 15 years. Yeah, for 15 years, you've been doing bullshit. Every year to somebody, Miss Tamara. So this shit that you doing now does not surprise me, does not surprise me at all. No, sirree, ma'am. Just right up your motherfucking alley. I'm just gonna tell you. So yeah, don't bring me and she said that's your homophobic bitch. And then her and Emily get into it, right? Because Emily say, and I appreciate that shit that you did. You took that shit and took it to Jen. And he said, yeah, why you do that? Why you ain't just take it to Heather? Since Heather is about homophobic shit, Heather deep into the LD, the gay life, I mean the gay community shit, she a big part of that. So why you ain't take it to her? So Tamara's excuse was, I brought it up to the next person that I filmed with, which was her. I don't believe that shit. You took it because Jen don't keep her mouth shut about shit. You gonna tell Jen something. She damn sure gonna tell Emily. Now Emily ain't gonna tell it. Not if it came from Jen. But when Jen see your ass, she gonna tell you. So if you already don't know that Emily don't know what Jen know, then you crazy. Cause that means it's 4 people in the group know. Jen. Whoever tells Jen anything, the person that told Jen, Jen finna tell Emily, and Emily finna go right back, and Jen is finna go right to that motherfucker in front of everybody and ask questions. Hey girl, saw something that was very disturbing. You said that you don't like gay people, and that gay people they burn in hell, or whatever the fucking text was. And she was like, what? But you didn't take it to her. I would have took it back from the motherfucker. Listen, you want some shit to be carried over here? It's gonna be two. It has got to make 2 requirements. One, if you want me to carry some shit, if you want to tell me some shit, first of all, it got to be some good shit. Don't waste my time telling me no bullshit. And then second, if you want it to be carried from me, it's not gonna happen. Nope. And the only reason why it ain't gonna happen because it all depends on who it involves. I'm not getting wrapped up in no bullshit. You know what I mean? I just ain't. So those are the requirements. Gotta be some good shit. And if you looking for it to travel past me, probably not. Not unless it's somebody you know I rock with real hard. At which point, I'm probably gonna tell your ass off, and you probably won't tell it to nobody else. Yeah, that's probably used to work for me. So anyway, what's her name? Tamara was like, "Oh, it's AI," and the stuff came from 3 years ago. Then you hear her say something about 2 years. So Andy said, "How'd you find the post?" And then of course she said, somebody sent it to Teddy," and I'm just like, "Oh my god." So then that's when Gretchen said, "I thought you said 2 years ago, but then you just said past 3 years." And she said, "I don't know, from 2022." And they said, "Well, how come you was the only person that had it?" She was getting mad as a motherfucker. So she said, I just don't know. She was like, "I just don't know." She said, "You know what? I like you. I really like you, but this shit that you do, this plot, this, I don't like shit like this." And she said, "I'm not plotting." She said, "I'm not doing shit. I'm reading my notes." So she said, Emily asked, "Why'd you bring this up?" And Sam was screaming. Cam was screaming, "I didn't bring it up." I don't know what the fuck she started. That's when she knows she bullshit. That's when she lied. I'm surprised she didn't walk off the stage. She said, "Why are you blaming me? Why you must me? She's a fucking homophobic bitch." I was like, dang. So it said the tweet was only on your phone. So I was like, man, girl, you did that shit. You got busted. This bitch just told you spend money. He's sitting there holding the paperwork and he put all that shit there. It's 25 pages. She said, "Look, she said 25 or 55." And it's got your name written all through it like them Epstein files. Shit. That was funny. So, so make my title. I'll make my title. Tamara got some Epstein files. Ah, that's funny. That's funny. Ah, the first, not the only lady. So she said, um, so Jen look over at Gretchen and said, "I fucked up. I should have came and told you what was going around about you or asked you about it instead of just presenting to the group." Jeff Gresham said, "I accept your apologies. I wish you had it because I thought me and you was kind of tight." And Angie confirmed. He's like, "Yeah, it looked like y'all was really doing some shit together." And she was like, "Yeah, we really were." So come to find out, Tamara tried to rope in Heather first. Just like how Andy had said, "Why you didn't get Heather first? Why the fuck would you go mess with Jen? I don't get it." So Heather said, "Yeah, you tried to say some shit in that short clip." Well, she said, "You said you can't mess with Gretchen because of her political belief and her religion." And Heather said, I did not tell you no shit like that. No, I didn't." So Andy asked her when you heard of it. He said she came to me with that information. And when she said it and dropped it in my lap, I was like, "I don't know what she want me to do with this because I don't want no part of this and I ain't going to say shit." Then she brought it up again at the dinner. I didn't want no part of the storyline, so I stayed the fuck out of it. Very good, Heather. You did a good thing. So so don't give it to me. I ain't doing shit with it. So you know what she did? She took that shit over there to Jen. I'm telling you, Tamara, you ain't really got nowhere to walk no more, yo, because everybody know the path that you make. And then every time you get caught in some shit, you start howling and crying and swearing how you ain't do it. And then you want people to believe you, but look at the shit that you do. Look at the shit you say in your confessional. You ain't a friend to nobody. The only person you probably a friend to is Eddie. And where the fuck is he? He don't even fuck with you no more, right? I don't even know. So Terrence said, "Why am I getting blamed because she a pope? She say racist. She like fucked up shit." So Jen said, so which kind so Emily ain't like that shit. She was like, yo, why you wrote my girl in? Why you put Jen in the fire like you making it look like it's some shit that she did? And she said, no, I'm not. So Tam said, no, I'm not. I didn't rope Jen in. And Jen was like, yeah, I kind of feel like you fucked up that you did that shit. She said, but hold it though. Let me put the brakes on because although you came and told me that shit, the way that I take accountability for my shit and upsetting Gretchen is I should have came to her and said I should have went past that. I don't know why I didn't. Yes, you did. You didn't because you wanted to start some shit. And then if the shit blew up, you could do exactly what you're doing now because of what I always find you doing what you're doing now. You always you do the same fucking thing every time you get roped into something. First of all, you don't get roped. You be wanting to know because you'll ask a question and then somebody will tell you some shit and then you go back and tell Emily. Then you and Emily will talk about it, then y'all get with the group and then you just so happen you gotta tell one other person again and then you bring everybody in the group and tell it. You do that shit every time and you apologize. I should have came to you first. How many times do you gotta release some information that you know you should have fucking took your ass and talked to the person first? You do that shit every season. You need to get a new shit. You need to get some new shit. So Tamara says, why are you such an asshole to Emily? Emily said, why are you such an asshole? And she said, I'm not an asshole. You sound a piece of shit. Now this part I ain't get. Apparently Emily didn't want to work on Tamara's podcast no more, so I think she resigned or she quit. But Tamara said you can't resign. Tamara said you can't resign or quit because we had to put you back on because after you left, our ratings dropped. So I didn't know Tamara had a network. I thought she had a platform. I don't fucking know the difference. Probably podcast. I don't know. It's a podcast. So is that her network? That same shit? Somebody tell me in the chat. And I said, the chat like I got people over here. That's funny. But anyway, they started going back and forth. Aunt Emily and Tamara were there. You and then you didn't treat me bad for years. You didn't treat me bad for years. I treated you bad. Yeah, you treated me bad. She called you Shrek for years. Yeah, I know. She was treating me bad. And you're a bitch and you're a bitch. Don't say I ain't. I'm a piece of shit. Well, I didn't call you shit, but you called me an asshole first. I don't want to hear that shit. I just really don't want to hear it. So anyway, this one Andy say this some shit y'all you don't know about. But right before the episode started to air, ooh, okay. Right before this episode began to air, what did he do? That man with the voice box call, right? And he was telling on Tamara, he was like, Tamara told on all y'all, she hooking up Gretchen with this homophobic text and shit. And she going really, and she was telling us. So he was like, he was like, they was like, how can we prove it? Because he sent a message to all the ladies. So they said, how can I prove it? And he said, I'll tell you what's gonna happen to the scene on all the scenes. What's gonna happen this season? And y'all ain't even released no trailer yet. I'm telling you everything she told. So he clipped those scenes when she was gonna meet Katie in the restaurant and talking with the Monique lady and what else was there? And Shannon, this was the one that really got them for them. For Shannon, Shannon was mad because management didn't invite her to some kind of function, and she felt like she should go. So she was mad. So when she got to wherever she was at, she called the motherfuckers and said, "Why didn't y'all invite me to the thing? I would love to go." I don't know what the fuck they told her, but Tammy was looking real interested in the conversation when she was talking. So the dude told the ladies as proof, as one of the receipts about this scenario with Shannon and upper management and not being invited to this party. And there's no way that he could have known that because, first of all, you're not going to call a bunch of motherfuckers, oh, go on the thing. Well, Shannon ain't say I was not invited and all the other ladies were. Shit like that. You ain't going to do no shit like that. And how come I wasn't? So she said, couldn't nobody know that shit. I just got back from Paris. I found out I called that dude. The only people I told was y'all. So how he know that? So she started Tamara, I didn't do this. I swear I knew my kids alive. I just and Jen. So Andy said, Jen, what's gonna happen between you and Tamara? Because this bullshit with all this is more reflected on y'all. This bullshit with Gretchen, and that's always gonna be there. So anyway, Jen do her spill where she said the truth. This shit is some dumbass shit. Y'all go back and forth with hurting one another. Y'all don't want to admit it, but y'all the same motherfuckers. And y'all just need to stop this shit. And I appreciate it. I feel like you kinda used me to start some shit. She trust me, believe Tamara gonna put you in the middle. She gonna have a buffer. If she can get a buffer, she gonna grab whoever near. And the slave wasn't even in the building and she grabbed him. So, it's Sled, this Gretchen, this shit ain't happened to me till they started coming back and I didn't do it. So anyway, next thing you know, you see the ladies, are they drinking? Yeah, they start drinking. They had their buy drinks and they too sweet for everybody. They too sweet for the ladies because they ain't really sipping them and they taking pictures with Andy and shit, but Tamara, she just sitting there looking retarded. And let me see. What else is going on over there? She's sitting around looking retarded, and they taking pictures. What's her name? Asked Emily said she don't have any pictures with her and Andy at the reunion, so they taking pictures together. He tried to make himself taller because she's much taller than him. So they talking, and then they go. Oh, that's why I wanted to say I didn't like this shit. So somewhere in there where Andy asks Jen about her and Katie. And Katie was like, yeah, I would like to see that we go somewhere. And Jen said, yeah, I would too. I got much love for you. However, a very good friend of mine called me and said you went over there asking shit about my shit. Why are you doing that? I mean, no, I didn't. Well, I'm gonna tell you what she told me. That's why I say I ain't got no love for Katie. I'm gonna tell you what she told me. She said you haven't talked to her and that you've not been a good friend. She just spilled now she telling all the shit that the girl said to her about and that you told her that you was gonna get her on the Real Housewives or audition or in casting. I was just like, man, fuck Katie. You just always in some shit. You just always everything with you, Jen. Fuck her. Everything. She need to be friends with Tamara. When the shit was over, she was back there with her sitting in that damn green room or whatever. She was crying. This is not what this shit was all about, bitch. This what you made it about. No, it don't have to be about that. We can just sit around. She should have told you, you know what, you want some bullshit. 'Cause I'm like with Heather. We don't got to do this shit. Got to stop talking about the career, talking about the kids. Just leave that shit alone. This is supposed to be a show about our friendships and how we conquer, what do you call it, conflict with one another. It's all this other extra shit. If you coming on here thinking that this is a game of survival of the fittest, you in the wrong motherfucking place, space. Cause we don't do that. We support, we help, we got shit. We supposed to do that. Can't we agree to disagree? We need a clear path. And she was the one who gave the toast to say you ever begin to start with a clear path, some bullshit. So then they start breaking up, going into their own rooms. And Andy tell Gretchen that she did a good job. She thanks him. I'm sure she do because she's coming back next season. I'm almost sure of it. Emily, I didn't like her look too much, but her and Tamara really got into it, but they're gonna be okay. They'll be fine. But I love it. I love it when they give Tamara the shit because she be fucking with people and recruiting others on the team to fuck with the people that she don't like. And I'm glad they finally peeped out. I think this is the first. Well, my well, no, she every other season she get it with some where they get tired of her bullshit and they all come for her when they see what she doing. So she sit like she's so innocent and she don't do nothing. Tamara, you just like to start shit, yo. And here the thing, you like to start shit, but you don't like to take accountability for it. And here another thing, you don't like to start shit by yourself. You like to enlist people. So to me, that just means you're a fucking coward. So listen, you could have been anywhere, but you was here with me for 34 minutes and 40 seconds. And I love you for it. And I'll be back to do this boring ass, what is that, Summer House or whatever? No, that Charleston shit. I was trying to watch it. I started on over it, no, 3 times. So we'll see. Anyway, listen, I love you. Bye.